Wow, what an unbelievable turnout. Thank you for coming out and celebrating on such a special day. You know, as we were thinking about the criteria for our next head coach, the attributes, I will readily admit that Ninja wasn't on top of the list, but we'll take it. It's a bonus. So, but again, what a great day. And a really special day to introduce our new head coach, Dave Aranda. There's a favorite quote of mine, or one of my favorite quotes, by Martin Luther King Jr., and I think it's appropriate for today. And it says, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. And today, with Coach Aranda, we're not moving forward crawling. We're not moving forward walking. We're not moving forward running, but we're moving forward flying. You know, as I thought about the significance of this day, and what Martin Luther King Jr. stood for, I thought about certainly equality for all, but this idea of brotherhood. And the moment I thought about brotherhood, I thought about our football team, our young men sitting here to the left. And I remember just walking in the locker room before every game and after every game, and there was a great brotherhood. And that's why we won so many games. And there's not another group of young men that I would go to battle with than with our football team sitting right there. You know, when you embark upon a search, right, it's a journey. And there's so many people that help you along the way, and so many people that you rely on and you count on, and you know, ask questions and ask them to speak into you. And I want to take a few moments just to thank all of those wonderful people that helped get us here today. And certainly it starts with our leader, who has done such an unbelievable job leading this university, continuing to transform it. Dr. Livingstone. And so thank you, Dr. Livingstone. And then I'm going to ask everyone to hold their applause until I'm finished thanking everyone else. But certainly our chair of the Board of Regents, Chair Clements, thank you for your unbelievable support, and all of our Board of Regents, the way they have supported our athletics program long before I ever arrived, and have continued to do that, and just grateful to them. The search committee, you know, it really wasn't a committee, it was more like a club. It was a group of people that just had great respect for one another, and there was a friendship amongst all of us. And so I'd like to thank that group. Walter Abercrombie, the greatest compliment I can give Walter is that if I was the athletic director while he was a student athlete, he would have been one of my all-time favorite student athletes. Walter, you're about everything that's good, and just appreciate you. Marcus Sedberry, our Senior Associate AD for Student Athlete Success, and just appreciate your input and your guidance, and for always providing your opinion, even when I didn't want it. So, but appreciate it. Mr. Paul Foster is a gentleman that I first met in 2003, and just an unbelievable person. Just so much respect for him, and just the way he values people. And he couldn't be with us here today, but greatly appreciate him. In the first row here, Regent Larry Hurd. This is the second time that we've done this together, and we were joking a couple days ago that he's now qualified to be an athletic director. So just hold off a bit, all right? So, But just what great wisdom, and just appreciate your friendship and everything that you did. And then finally, Jeremiah Dickey. For many of you know that Jeremiah and I have worked together since 2002, 2003. And what a great person. And I think he's the best number 2 in the entire country. I think he's the best football sport program administrator in the country, and just value him and his friendship, and certainly appreciate him. And then the boss of this club, the true boss of the entire search, my wife, Amy Rhoades. So. After the Sugar Bowl, Amy and I had this great idea of trying to spend 5 or 6 days quietly alone in the mountains, and trying to reconnect, trying to recoup from a great fall season, and so blessed with so many great coaches and student athletes, and certainly the football season. And I think that lasted 24 hours. And so. But like always, she rolled with it, and even provided her opinion at times on who she thought we should hire. So my daughters are here, Nicolette and Natalie, and my son-in-law, Andrew. Just appreciate them. Dion, thank you for letting 6 strangers hang out in your house for 5 hours, right? And Dion served us jambalaya and gumbo and king cake, and we knew that we had hired the right person. So, and then finally, my executive team for just keeping things moving forward, to Coach Rule and to his staff. I think, like everybody in this room, will be forever grateful for what he did and the staff did in terms of their 3 years and moving the program forward. Coach McGuire for serving as interim. That's a really tough spot to be in, and he never wavered, and he did it with class and dignity. And then finally, again, I want to thank our student athletes, our football student athletes. As I was thinking about this, and maybe the greatest compliment that I can give them, we talk about impact on this world. And when I think about our student athletes and our football team, when they walk into any establishment, that place becomes a more safer place. And I appreciate that, and I appreciate each and every one of you, our young men. So thank you. I want to give them again another round of applause. So Coach Aranda's and my relationship began on Thursday, January 9th at about 8:15 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Coach was preparing to win a national championship that following Monday versus Clemson. I was trying to get back home to Waco. Amy and I were, and I was in a 4-foot by 4-foot office in the Sierra Blanca Regional Airport. And I recall that conversation, the first time that I'd ever gotten on the phone with Coach. And I just remember as that conversation continued, that the momentum continued to build. And it continued to build as he was talking about his faith, and that his faith was at the core of the way he coached. And it continued to build when I understood that this was a man that was truly a leader of young men, and had done it and had believed in it, and didn't just talk about it, but lived that life. He was a man that was not only going to show our players in terms of playing the game, but he was going to make sure that they knew the game. And I remember at some point in time during that conversation, I started to think, this could be our next head coach. This could be our next head coach. And as we continued our journey on the search, and we started to think about what we really want in our next leader, We talked about the mission fit, absolutely. Baylor's Christian values, something that we will never, ever compromise. And we thought about, again, the idea of pouring into young men and challenging them to be the very best they can be, not just in football, but in everything in their life. This idea of everything counts, everything matters. And then we thought about this idea of somebody that can help us and take us to that level to where we can win at the highest level and doing it the right way. And as we continue to think, every single time we were led back to Coach Dave Aranda. And in fact, everybody in the committee said, there's just something special about Dave Aranda. And so as we continued, there's no doubt in my mind that God led us to Coach Dave Aranda. You see, Coach is not just a great coach. He's not just a thoughtful, caring, wonderful person. He's not just a ninja. And he's not just a winner. Coach Aranda is a transformational leader of young men. And he is the right man to lead our program going into the future. And so please, all of you, join me in welcoming Dion and Jordan and Jalen and Ronan to the Baylor University family, right? And please join me in welcoming our new head coach, Dave Aranda.